Elevate. You're live with Elevate, and our next speaker is near and dear to my heart because she is one of my partner coaches in my program, Made to Thrive. I knew the first couple times that I worked with her that I absolutely had to get access to her exclusively to my clients in Made to Thrive and the Visible VIP. Her name is Amanda Kunkel, and she has direct access to the universe, is the best way to put it. And to you, that might be your guardian angels, spirits, God, goddess, source. Whoever your spiritual language is, she can help you get connected to your deeper purpose and their divine plan for you. Amanda assists radical self thinking business women who have demonstrated business maturity and the ambition for acceleration. They are ready, her ideal clients are ready to embark on a dimensional energy shift away from doing into being. They hear their spirit calling loud and clear to step into their elite empress self. With her psychic superpower, she conveys to women their unique universe map, which is the way to stepping into seven figures. They created this map with the universe before you've created this map with the universe before you were even born. And Amanda helps you get connected with that. The paradigm shift already exists within you. Amanda helps you get connected with that. Without further ado, here's my dear friend and partner coach, Amanda Kunkel. There you are. Take it away, Amanda.
Thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Marta. And thank you, everybody, for being here today with us. Yes, I have direct access to the universe, but also you do too. We all have different levels of leaning into our own God. Like Marta said, whether that is God, Jesus, angels, Mother Earth, Buddha, whomever you relax into the most, because it is all just about the ultimate form of love. So today, the universe asked me to deliver with you the most playful way to elevate. And I was going to use the phrase elevate yourself. And the universe said, no, don't do that, because it is all already inside of you. Yes, you and the universe created the path to all of your desires before you were born, but it is all inside you already. You're whole, healthy, and complete. And that does not mean to ignore life circumstances, right? If you cut your finger while you're cutting up cantaloupe, you're going to want to go get a band aid. That is not saying don't pay attention to life circumstance. It says you already have within you everything that you need. So, the easiest and quickest way to do this is to shift your being onto the superhighway of abundance. This is my favorite topic to talk about. And the reason why is because the universe put this together for me to bring to everybody. I got to have the experience first, and then I was able to translate the information and to share with more than just myself, because I, Amanda the human, I, Amanda the business expert, I want you to be happy. I want you to be joyous. I want you to experience every single desire that you have. Okay. And because of that, I get very passionate about this subject. When I talk about shifting into being, I'm not talking about having to do some radical mental overhaul or anything like that. The reason I talk about shifting into the being is the universe says there's not some destination out there, right? If you think of a highway, you're in a car and you're going somewhere, you're going to someplace. The universe says instead of being in a car going to someplace, that place is already within you. And so all you have to do is shift and to come into alignment with it. See, what happens when you shift into the superhighway of abundance, you receive all of those desires very easily. And it feels playful. And opportunities just keep snowballing your way. You're able to see opportunities and to have the confidence to act on them very quickly. It's a snowball effect, the whole thing. You are a vibrating being. Everything is, right? Even my glasses, the stapler, the tree, but they all vibrate. When you get down to the molecular level, with all those little atoms. Everything's vibrating, just different levels, not good or bad or right or wrong, just different levels. And so, what the superhighway of abundance is about is putting your vibrational level, right? The vibrational level of your body, your soul, and your mind all in one space. And they're all on the same path. If you think about three people trying to have a conversation at once and they're all saying something differently, they're not getting anywhere. It is the same thing with your body. If your soul vibration, your body vibration, and your mind vibration are all doing different things, you're not really getting very far. It feels like you're going uphill with a wheelbarrow full of bricks, right? The universe says, let's just not do that. Let's not do that to you. Let's get you into that fabulous state. There's a very simple, easy way to do it. In fact, your brain's going to say to you, wow, Amanda, that almost sounds too easy. I'm not sure if I can believe and trust this. And that is when the universe and I say, lean in. The more you have a reaction to something, that means, hey, you need to pay attention to that and you need to work through whatever it is. There's a difference in reaction, by the way, just a little side note here. I don't like lima beans. I love peas. Apparently ever since I was a kid, like I will eat peas still as an adult from a can. Like I don't even put them in a dish. I will just eat them from a can. They're so good. Never liked lima beans. I'm not offended by lima beans. They don't gross me out. They're just not for me. I will still as an adult like pick them out if I can from a dish. Not because I'm like, ugh, but I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really add flavor for me. Just not my thing. So when you have a reaction to something, you can have two things. It can either be, that's just not for me. That's just that lima bean. That reaction means literally that thing is not for you, and that's okay. You get to choose. You are so powerful in your sovereignty. You get to choose. However, if you have a reaction that is, oh, gross, nasty, ah. I actually don't think I do that over any food, so I can't give you an example there. That means, oh, my darling, everything you desire is on the other side of that. That's something you need to lean into. So as you're listening to the superhighway of abundance here, notice which reaction you have. I have never had anyone say, oh, it's just not for me, it's a lima bean. I've had people say, let me play with how I can make this happen for me. So I know I've spoke about the results of the superhighway of abundance here and the trigger, the reaction that you might have to getting into vibration, getting your whole mind, body, and soul on the same page to receive those desires. But I know you're probably going, okay, that's lovely. How? What's the big how? That's always the question the universe and I get. The how. Overarching, the how is never really your concern. The universe handles the how. In this specific case, the universe is going to give you some aligned action steps to achieve that how easily. So I want you to think here, you can close your eyes if you'd like, about your birthday. For most people, when you think about your birthdays growing up as a kid, it was very exciting. You would go to bed the night before, all giddy, almost Christmas-like. If Christmas had a bigger excitement to you, think Christmas. Think Christmas or happy birthday, right? You knew that the next morning that you would wake up, and there would be presents, and there would be people, and lots of food. And if it was your birthday, there would be like cake and ice cream and maybe a piñata. Can you feel how your body's changing? Can you kind of get that excitement where all your cells are buzzing as you have that memory? Right? It's almost overpowering. It's almost incapacitating, right? That is the superhighway of abundance. That feeling. And to hold that feeling, no matter what is going on in the world around you. That's why I started very specifically by saying, yes, circumstances are circumstances. If you cut your finger, you are going to feel a little off your superhighway of abundance. You need to tend to it. Determine, is this something I can take care of with a Band-Aid and some hydroperoxide? Do I need to go get stitches? Right? That's human life. But then allow yourself to come back to that feeling, that positive expectation, that totally encompassing joy. When you are in that state, more than not, that is when things really start to flow for you. That is when the money comes in. That is because money, love, good relationships, opportunities, it's all energy. So you were open and you were like drawing it in. If you've heard that it's like you've probably seen some of those metaphysical practices about the law of attraction, right? Well, the universe, God is saying to me that this is what it actually is. You are just so in vibrational harmony with who you be, with your God source, with your universe, that everything else is allowed to flow to you and you receive so wholeheartedly, like at Christmas or your birthday when you were a kid. Now, I know for some of you, you might say, yeah, I don't really kind of have good experience with that. The good news is you've had so many friends that have, and you've been able to witness them, right? You'd go to some other kid's birthday party and watch. It's usually the jumping up and down and the face and like they're glowing, right? It's like that. So allow your brain to say, where in my life has that happened for me before? Okay, it was in that instance. So I'm going to bring that in now. And that is what I'm going to keep going back to over and over and over again. It's a very simple but powerful technique. This is the technique, and I'll share a little bit from my life. Yes, I work with women stepping into seven figures. Yes, women have worked with me and stepped into seven figures. However, my background was all about lack, not worthy, not deserving. And it was basically programmed into me since as far as I can remember. So it was like my default set point. And a lot of women have that to some degree, or they have other items that are programmed into them, such as women aren't supposed to have their own money, or their father or husband's supposed to control it, whatever it is. This is the technique that the universe showed to me, leaned in hard. And there was a turning point where I had to lean into because I had a visceral trigger. And I had to lean in very hard. And because I trust the universe, because I trust my God source, and you do too, I said, all right, I'm just surrendering this to you. I'm giving the halloway fruit to you, and I'm just coming back to that joyous feeling, that happy birthday, that Merry Christmas. Everything started turning around within a month. And then the universe said, show this to your next client, show this to your next client, show this to your next client. Okay, I trust the universe. I know this works. Let's do it. Same thing over and over again. A question that comes up commonly is, okay, Amanda, but sometimes really bad stuff happens in the circumstances around you. Like a loved one dies. Finances had fallen flat. And so there's all of this fear around being homeless. Oh, so as you have things that either come up for you that are like this or similar, right? It can feel very difficult, even if you have been on the superhighway of abundance for a while. And here's what the universe wants you to know. Start by just coming back to your breath. Start by coming back to your breath. Hi, Sue. I love limas, not peas. Oh, I love that. So we're like the opposites, right? It's all good. Marta, I have a client who has worked to manifest clients and income, and she has met her dream. Yes, Yes. Fabulous. So if you hit up against a circumstance where you feel like you can't get back into this superhighway of abundance, start with your breath. Breathing in deep, like the deep breaths where you like expand your stomach and expand your chest, and you're breathing nice and slow. Is going to help calm your system, right? Because when we go into fight or flight, there are actual like chemicals involved in the body. That's why it can feel so out of control sometimes. And then difficult to get back on the superhighway of abundance because you've got all these like chemicals going around in your body that your amygdala has released. Your breath centers and calms that. It starts washing it away. And it is also you receiving. So often when we clench up because something in the outside circumstances has happened, that's what we do. We clench up, right? It's the same thing if you've ever had to slam on the brakes while you're driving, your body, your muscles clench up. It's this like automatic reaction. The breathing takes you back to receiving. The superhighway of abundance is all about receiving and allowing. And it's okay to start there if that's where you're at and work up to the happy birthday, Merry Christmas. At first, you get to bring yourself back to this. Whether you have sticky notes around your house, maybe you have a pop-up set on your watch or your phone to remind you. I have one that will remind me to stand up and to breathe, right? Because we get very like oof at our desks. It helps remind me to get back onto the superhighway of abundance. Not that I've come off of it per se, but to really be in that joyous expansion, oh, so excited vibration and feeling. No, that's a lot to take in, by the way. No, it's a lot to wrap your head around. The universe likes to offer the, well, just give it a go. It's not going to hurt you. Right? It's not like the first time somebody said, oh, let's take the training wheels off your bike. You've got this. And then you fall over in the bush. You get your knees all scraped up. It's not like that. You're not going to fall into a bush and scrape your knees. The worst that can happen is not getting onto the superhighway of abundance. Not paying attention to where your soul vibration, your body vibration, and your brain is. And I have a few more minutes here with all you wonderful souls. And I'm happy to take a question or two if they have popped up.
I'll start us off. Okay, so to clarify, to get on the highway of abundance, first step is the deep breath, correct? Correct. Okay. What would be some other steps that our audience members can do to get on the superhighway of abundance if they are like, Amanda, I'm just not feeling it. I feel stuck. I'm in survival mode here. I can't sleep. I'm anxious all the time. I can't even eat, or maybe I'm overeating because I'm so anxious. What are you talking about, the highway of abundance?
Yes.
What are some other things?
So the steps that can get you to that happy birthday, Merry Christmas feeling. Yes, you're correct. Start with the breath. The next suggestion is, let me see here what they're saying. Allowing yourself to do an infusion. What this is an action that helps your mind not wander. Because when you're in survival mode, the mind is always wandering because the amygdala is like, death, 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 and all of those chemicals are being released.
Mm-hmm.
So, a couple different ways. My favorite way is to start by putting on binaural beats in the background because they work on that cellular level, the vibrating atom level, to help
Can you
them
spell that?
down.
Binaural beats, and we'll
Yes.
have Allie put it in the chat.
Okay, so I'm dyslexic, so let's see how well I can do
That's
here.
right.
It's all good. Binaural, I believe.
Okay.
Binaural
Allie,
beats.
put it in the chat. Okay. And what do the binaural beats do?
They work on that cellular level. So it is music, And there's binaural beats for abundance, happiness, calm, peace, the music, right? If you've ever sat at a piano and played or strummed a guitar, you can feel it, correct? You can literally feel it in your body. It is beats that are sequenced in a way that when you feel it in your body, it literally takes those atoms and puts them either into nice, slow calmness. If you're listening to binaural beats for calmness, into excitement, if you're listening to binaural beats for abundance. Have that on in the background all the time, unless you're sleeping. You can put your earphones in. You can have it. Right now, I actually don't have it, but I could have it in the background in my room and hear it without you hearing it. When you're in the shower, when you're in the car, it's letting the system of your body come out of that fight or flight survival so that your mind quiets, so that things start to come together. You're welcome, Christine. Things start to come together to allow you to get closer to that happy birthday, Merry Christmas.
All right. So next time I talk to Echo over here, I'm going to be like, Echo, binaural beats.
Yes.
Oh, wait. You hear? Echo, not now. Echo, stop. Chris says, I know we all have a beat, but I've never heard of this. I just turned on the Abundance binaural beats. They are really awesome. Thanks, Amanda. I will give this a try. Awesome.
Absolutely. And Gigi, so, happy to hear about this, right? The wandering mind is a thing. We all deal with it. The more you practice, though, the easier it becomes to allow the mind to calm without so much wandering.
Mm-hmm.
And
Amanda, I'll tell you guys, obviously Amanda and I have sessions, and that's the number one thing. She takes me through meditations and I'm like, that was 50% my mind wandering about how many times I peed yesterday. So it is perfectly normal for even the most successful people to not have it 100%. And it is a practice. Wouldn't you say that, Amanda?
Yes, absolutely. And you still have outcomes. You still have positive outcomes even when your mind wanders, right? So the meditations that we have done, Marta, even if your mind was like pee, 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 oh, I need to go to the grocery store, you still have positive outcomes from it, right? It's not like, oh, let's just get really down on the mind.
Yeah. And even working through hypnotherapy, I often will come out of those sessions like, I don't know if I was hypnotized or not. And she's like, trust me, it works. And it does every single time. We've got Crystal here we've had conversation about Made to Thrive with Crystal before. And she, it's a Multiply to Simplify Made to Thrive program, for which Amanda is the partner coach. You get to work with both Amanda and I. Crystal says, there's a type of therapy called EMDR, which can tap into bilateral refiling for trauma, meant to be done with certified therapists for it, though. Awesome.
Absolutely. Any trauma work needs to be done with a certified therapist, psychologist, board approved. Agreed there, Crystal. Absolutely. Yep.
Kevin says Dr. Emoto did a water documentary on what she's saying right now.
Yes, if you have not looked at Imazuro Moto's water crystals, Google them. You'll have some time after I pop off here shortly to see the difference between, and any music, it's not just binaural beats, the difference in the formation of the crystals depending on what vibration is put next to them.
And Amanda, I have examples that pop to mind of our clients in Made to Thrive who they just had the session with you and they're like, oh my gosh, I just had my session with Amanda. I'm like, oh great, how was it? And they're like, it's so good. So good. And so and people will ask me, what's it like to work with Amanda? And I'm like, I don't even know how to describe it to you. You just have to do it. We manifest amazing things. I've gone through Amanda's meditations that she's had available when I'm peak anxiety, because spoiler alert, I do have feelings of anxiety and I also have feelings of depression. The most famous and successful people out there, it's just it could be a part of your life, but it's how you reflect upon it rather than react to it. And Amanda's sessions and Amanda's meditations have taken me from up here anxiety to like calm state of being.
I'm so happy
So
to
can
hear
you
that.
give me an example of somebody in Made to Thrive, obviously anonymously, who you've worked with and it started from point A and after the sessions, it was like, oh my goodness. I know that there's been just amazing, amazing results.
Yes, one of the clients who had a lot going on within her family, right? So, not even just, hey, here's what's happening in business. We got a lot of stuff going on within the family unit that was very draining on her. And as you all know, it's very hard to be 110% available for your business or yourself when things around you are draining you. And so, over our 3 sessions, her that feeling of that draining would lessen after each session. She'd send me a little message about how relaxed she
That's
was.
awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome. And of
thank
course, I
you.
and of course, I'm fielding questions here, which I'm sure we'll share with you later. But I had to have Amanda as a bonus speaker today. I wanted to surprise you all with direct access to the universe. And Amanda and I will be doing a training together in just a few weeks, if not a little bit more than that, in my Facebook community, the Minimalist Method for Prosperous Entrepreneurs. Because when you do join my programs Made to Thrive, you get not one-on-one access to not only me, but you get one-on-one access to Amanda. So you and I work with the strategy and the mindset and the marketing and the how-to, and then Amanda will take you through the relaxation and the connection with the universe and connecting with your guides and guardian angels, ancestors who are all in one and in between. So you get the full package of strategy and aligned action and inspired action taking, and also allowing and receiving and being more at peace. So one of the number one things that our clients will say who go through Made to Thrive is, oh my gosh, I signed on for the marketing and the social media and the strategy and the consulting and the access to you, but I never would have imagined how much more confident I feel, how much more clear I feel, how much more calm I feel, how much more present I am for my family. Jessica has a question for you. Do you see it in the chat? Binaural beats are extremely effective. EMDR changed my life. What were the water crystals we were supposed to Google?
The water crystals, if you even just type in his last name, so his full name is Imazuro Emoto, um, and then write water crystals. I believe, again, I'm dyslexic, so the last name I think is spelled EMOMO. Please feel free to correct me. Actually, Google will correct you. That's how famous his work is. If you mess up the name plus water crystals plus music, it'll lead you right to his work, as well as his various books. Unfortunately, I don't think he is with us any longer, but all of his work has been cataloged and categorized, so it is there for us all. Yes, you are very welcome, Jessica. Thank you all so much for having me today.
Yes. And
Marta.
Amanda does have to hop off. She's of high demand. She's heading off to another virtual speaking engagement. I will be announcing a present that she has for you in the self-care package, but we'll let you go, Amanda, and I'll remind everybody where they can find you and all that good stuff.
Thank you all so much. Take care.
Amanda. All right, everyone. So here it is. You ready for it? Amanda, who is the business psychic. But what's really interesting about Amanda is that actually she and her beliefs are very close to mine as a Catholic. We believe a lot of connecting with saints and connecting with guardian angels, with of course God Almighty being the number one, the source, the divine. So Amanda has actually included in the self-care pack these oracle cards. And she does say, if it's not your jam, no harm, no foul, just simply don't use them. Whenever she does encourage you to use these oracle cards like this, and these are called Work Your Light. And it has there's a little booklet in here that tells you how to use them. But she does ask you to pray to your guardian angels and to God and positive energies and positive angels to envelope you with light and love and protection anytime you venture off into any type of connection with the universe. And so remember, in order to win these and everything else that I've mentioned about the self-care prize pack and the other items that I'm going to be announcing for the rest of the day, you want to take a picture with you. Let's see if I could do this. With you watching this event, and then tag the speaker who happens to be speaking when you do this. That will get you an entry to get this $200 plus pack self-care care package that we'll send out once we pick the winner tomorrow. In addition, you can follow Amanda on Instagram, and Allie who's running our Media the Creative Agency production on the back end today. We'll share the link to that in the chat right now. And on top of that, you can also join Amanda's Facebook community, and Allie will pop the link to that in the chat as well. Doing those three things gets you 3 entries into winning this $200+ prize pack called the self-care care package that we're going to ship directly to your home. And it's, again, what I've mentioned so far. We've got these oracle cards. We've got a week's worth of collagen elixir, which has extreme healing powers. Oh, I forgot to mention, we've also got some holistic organic snacks from Catalan as well. We've got hot cocoa. We've got a little teeny tiny journal you can write in. And I also forgot to mention bonus that we are going to be including a little desktop tripod, of course, being a media company, because part of self-care sometimes is being visible and using your voice and letting it out and connecting deeper with the people you want to connect with. And we've got Burt's Bees beauty product and holistic organic body wash and hand wash. And that's just a small fraction of all the things that we are going to include. So remember also, by the way, that if you haven't gotten your books yet, of the prize pack, the book bundle that is available through Eventbrite, when you got your ticket, if you didn't do the add-on of getting all the books, I highly recommend that you do so now. Allie will share the link to that in the chat again. I highly recommend that you go and you click on the link and you purchase the books now, because you've already invested your time and potentially money and getting the ticket to this event. And in order to really and fully feel this full transformation and internal shift into your highest self, I highly recommend that you do get the book bundle. There's about, I think, 5 speakers whose books are included in this book bundle. So in addition to you hearing them speak and getting one-on-one access to them and the incredible, invaluable ability to ask them questions live here today, which is not something they typically do all the time, you also can buy their book as part of the book bundle and accentuate and elongate the experience that you're going to be feeling today, the high vibration experience, the highway of abundance that Amanda referenced. You have the ability to deepen that connection, to lengthen that connection, to extend that connection, and to truly reach the highest level of yourself. Now, you know that I'm not about working you hard, working you to the bone, working nonstop. I can actually be a little lazy myself. So I want to give you almost a half hour now of a break. Google the things that have been referenced already. We've got Katlin, who referenced the book that she highly recommends. And we've got Amanda, who's referenced a couple things that she's encouraged you to Google as prompted by our audience members. And I invite you to click on the link in Eventbrite and add on those books. Those are going to be life-changing books for you, including my book, The Minimalist Method, which is one of the Amazon bestsellers listed there. And again, remember, take a picture of yourself, tag the speaker who's in the picture, tag @MediaPGH, and follow each speaker on Instagram, ask to join their communities. Each time you do that is an extra entry into the contest to win this 200+ care package, self-care care pack that we are going to ship directly to your home. And Darlene says, what if you don't have Kindle? Any alternate options for the books? Yes, you can actually buy the bundle and just send us a message if you don't have Kindle. We will put that on, we will put you on a list and we'll get you the paperbacks instead if you absolutely do not have Kindle. But just so you guys know, you don't actually have to have a Kindle to read the books. You can download the Kindle app and you can actually read the books on any mobile device because the Kindle app is available on all mobile devices. So you do not need a Kindle to read the books. So I highly recommend that you get the digital copy so you can have them available. But if you want the books and you're like, I gotta have them, but I don't even have the Kindle app. I can't even get the Kindle app because of this and that. Send us a message. We will get the authors to send you the paperbacks directly. It might take you a little longer and get them at different times. However, it is worth the investment. I've read almost all of them. I'm working my way through Rachel Brooks' Chasing Perfection right now. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. So I highly recommend that you add those on. All right, guys, I'm going to give you a 25-minute break here. We will be back at 11 a.m. on the dot. Do not miss it with, who do we have coming up? Let me pull that up. Whoop. We have got, who is at 11 a.m., Allie? Do you want to pop it in the chat for us? Who is that? We've got Christine Nichols. I love her. She's going to be talking to you guys all about, I love, oh, me too, Darlene. Actually, my favorite is our audiobooks, which is partly how I wrote my book, was I spoke it and then transcribed it. But we've got Christine Nichols coming up next. She's going to be teaching you about time balance. She herself is a mama of 2 and has an empire called Relentless Runners. And just in the short time that they have been our clients at Media, she has almost doubled her revenue at Relentless Runners with her business partner, Tony, who Tony is going to be a speaker later on this afternoon. So you'll get to hear from both co-founders who, within the last 6 months working with us, nearly have doubled their revenue in the multi-six figures and have also doubled their team and have just gained back so much time in their schedule. And they're going to be, and so Christine's going to be telling you a little bit about that. And she's going to be telling you how she did it and how you can create an empire that lights you up while being fully present with your family and how to balance your schedule. Stay tuned.